It's late.
Oh.
Hi. Hi, School Rock. Sorry we're late.
We are late. We apologize.
Yeah, so thanks for School Rock for having us. We're just going to ask each other some questions that have been submitted. We'll use my phone for that. But
we'll let people kind of build here for a minute.
I mean, it's 5 people is already more than I was expecting. So, but a little history, I guess. Jake and I met at School of Rock. When was that? 2009, 2008. I was on the Rolling Stones show, and you were on the
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses show, right?
Yeah.
And then we just kept doing music, and now we're touring the world, essentially. But it's not that glamorous, A lot of sleeping in vans.
Ups and downs. Sweet. Why don't we turn to some of these questions?
I'll go ahead and ask you the first question. Okay, first, what is your favorite type of cookie?
Oh, wow.
From Jill.
I think oatmeal and chocolate chip is number one for me. Call me crazy.
Oh, yeah, you are crazy. Okay, we're going to get to a different question here. Individually, both you and I, who are some of your biggest music or stylistic inspirations?
What would you say?
Who were or who are? I don't know. I mean, back in the day, back when I went to School of Rock, I was like a huge metalhead. So I liked like Children of Bodom and Lamb of God and Dimmu Borgir for a second. Dark.
What was the last one?
Dimmu Borgir. It's like a Norwegian. I don't even know what they are. But so when I was on the Rolling Stones show, I was like, why am I even here? But then I actually turned out I like the Rolling Stones.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Who doesn't like the Stones?
Lovely vibes.
How about you?
Probably Led Zeppelin. Yeah, that was a really formative band for me. I was on the Led Zeppelin show at School of Rock. Robert Plant has always been amazing.
Kind of a cop out of an answer, but okay.
All right, fair enough. Okay. If you could have a tour pet, what animal would you choose, why, and what would you name it? That is from Seattle, Washington.
Tour pet. Definitely no pet or a dog, and I'd name it Scrambles.
Scrambles?
Scrambles.
Okay.
What about you?
I have 2 rabbits at home, so I'd probably bring a rabbit out if that was a possibility. Probably name it Pickles.
That's an interesting name. With being on the road consistently, how do you cope with any homesickness that you might feel? That is from Brianna in Los Angeles. Being on the road is kind of like when you get your tour family, so it's like you are home in a sense, but with all the comforts of home, I mean, you just try and find them, just go to bed early, read a book.
I think you tend to build routines up on tour that you would kind of have at home. Every night you're brushing your teeth, you do your kind of same routine. So I think routine is helpful on tour to keep your sanity. Music is always good. You listen to some albums.
Yeah.
Your favorite albums bring you back.
Honestly, music brings you home.
It does.
As they say.
It does.
All right, your turn. Ask a question.
What is Kanye's best album in your opinion, and why?
Oh geez. Graduation, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because that's the only one I've actually listened to extensively. But you know what?
Probably Life of Pablo.
That's a good one.
Good one.
Here's a real thinker. Is a Pop-Tart a sandwich? No, it's a pastry.
Get out of town.
Okay. How did you get into music? You talk about high school, but did you take lessons, singing choir, natural talent? Talk a bit about that. How did you get into music?
I think honestly, Guitar Hero was a pretty popular game when we were young lads. So Guitar Hero really made me want to get into playing guitar. So as terrible of an answer as that is. And then we encountered School of Rock, and I think School of Rock really really shaped what we wanted to do the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I lived overseas when I was really young, and I moved back to the States when I was about 11. And I wasn't big into music much before then, but then sort of re-assimilating back into U.S. culture. It was like trying to find stuff to do that wasn't sports, and then obviously we came across rock, and I think that, I mean, like, I liked music, but then that was sort of the catalyst for playing music live and meeting people who play music, sort of, you know, on a certain level that it's more than just a hobby. So School of Rock was a huge part of that, especially the Cream of Clapton show. Love Eric Clapton.
You big Clapton fan?
Big Clapton fan. Biggest Clapton fan.
We were at the St. Paul School of Rock.
Minnesota.
Chris Williams over there in the comment section. Shout out Chris.
Hashtag Chris.
Chris Williams.
What's your favorite to perform?
Guitar.
Okay. What was your first interview like?
A disaster.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I think it was probably on 89.3 The Current was kind of our first notable interview, and it was just a bunch of
oh my god, we were
bunch of audio of us just like laughing essentially, making jokes.
We were nervous.
Zach was talking about people that were deleting themselves to society.
I had a couple prepared lines.
You did.
Right, you know, I went into it versed.
Don't prepare your lines, guys.
Yeah, no, and it's got to be off the cuff.
As you can see, we're pretty unprepared today.
Sorry, we were late.
Okay. Let's see here. Is Warm Glow about Bonnaroo? No. It's not about Bonnaroo. Okay, here's always a fun one. If you could collaborate with one dead musician on a song, who would it be, and why?
Dead musician, David Bowie. I like David Bowie. Everyone likes David Bowie. He's cool.
It's true. Probably Prince. Prince is tight.
Why Prince?
R.I.P. Prince, man.
Why Prince?
Minnesota, man.
Well,
Playing a show with Prince at First Avenue. Dude, be awesome.
I mean, I never really got into his music, but he's kind of cool.
He's the best.
Okay, here we go. What's your favorite song to perform live, and what does it mean to you to perform?
Huh.
That's a good question. Favorite song? We have a song called Buttercup, and that is just, you know, really hits home. To play live is just kind of fun. You know, the crowd gets into it. And then what does it mean to perform? That's a really hard question to answer. Well, we went to, Jake and I and the rest of the band, we all went to a performing arts high school, which had like dance and theater and music and opera for Jake because he's a big singer. But we were always, you know, like learning our craft in high school, and you know, well, they didn't teach you like what it meant to perform, but it was definitely, you know, a question of whether or not like why do you perform and stuff like that. So I guess coming back to it, I don't know. It's a form of expression. It keeps us sane, you know, kind of gets us through the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that people come together at a concert in a lot of ways that they don't come together in daily life. I mean, you don't get to just be around a bunch of people and have almost nothing in common, but kind of have that one common thread, which is music. So,
yeah. Good question. Tough question.
Way to go. Good job.
Let's see. Whew, a lot of questions here. Harry Potter or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Well, yeah. What music are you listening to right now? And what song are you currently obsessed with? Go ahead.
I really like Elliott Smith. I've been listening to him a lot lately. Between the Bars, I'm pretty obsessed with at the moment. And that Super Organism song, what's it called again? In your mind. It's a real catchy joint. So.
Yeah. Who else? The new Rostam album. The guitar player for Vampire Weekend just released his first solo record under his own name. It's very good.
It's a delight. King Cruel released a record. It's very good. Very jazz. Yes.
Currently obsessed with a lot of really quiet music, like Brian Eno,
Chuck Johnson.
Chuck Johnson. Don't get me started on Chuck.
You're like slide guitar kids. you know a thing or two about slide.
Okay. What was your first show at School of Rock? We already kind of went over that. What do you
The
want to
Who
talk
was
about?
The Who was actually my favorite.
Oh, really?
First song I ever learned on guitar was "Who Are You" by The Who.
Was it easy?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Why don't you talk about School of Rock a little bit?
Want me to just take it over?
Yeah.
Do we need to pull up more questions?
I mean, we asked most of the good questions. The other ones
Did-
are like, what do you think about potatoes?
I like potatoes.
Potatoes are good.
Maybe we weave a few of those. Hold on. There's more.
I
There's
mean, I
more.
like potatoes, but fried.
You talk about School of Rock. I'm gonna find some more questions.
Honestly, like, didn't have any friends at School of Rock. Like, I was like, I hate School of Rock because I have no friends. But then I stuck with it. And then actually, like, carved out a really great group of friends. You being one of them, even though we weren't really friends at the beginning. You were hanging out with my brother more than anything.
I was hanging out with your brother. Shout out Alex. Oh wait, I like this one. Where do you buy your super cool shirts, bro? Especially the ones y'all wore at Bonnaroo.
Wow. Okay. I mean, thrifting, obviously. But then Bonnaroo, we actually had some fan-made clothes.
Yeah, we did.
Some, I forget the company's name, but her name was Scout.
The Thrifty Hippie.
That's Thrifty. She
Yes.
made us all some cool clothes, but
Yeah, she's fantastic.
yeah.
Oh, there's one here for you, Zach. This one's a really good one. What made you play the 5-string bass instead of a traditional 4-string bass?
That's a good question. I really have no idea. I was like a very novice level bass player, and I was like at Guitar Center like every weekend, and I was like, you know what? All the cool guys play 5 strings. Why don't I get one? So I was like, I'll get this one. And then it took me a long time to.
Who were some of those cool guys?
Honestly, I can't even. A lot of metal bass players played 5 strings. I don't even know their names. I don't know why I got it, but then looking back on it, it's like just the best sounding bass I have, so that's why I keep using it. But again, we studied jazz at the Performing Arts High School, so it kind of came in handy that I could play more jazz with that extra string. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
How about this one? This one's, let's dig in. You want to dig in?
I'm
for a
digging.
minute? You
I'm
wanna
gonna dig in wherever you tell me to.
How
dig in.
has success as a band changed the way you view the way you view on life and
I
society?
think that's worded
I think
wrong.
it's the way you. That is from Minneapolis. It's great.
I don't. Well, I think it's really subjective how how much success you could call a band. You could say a band has had, but I mean, generally we've had a fair amount of success if you gauge it. Like, we don't have to work jobs anymore. We can tour. We have a crew with us. So in that regard, we're really successful. But I wouldn't say by any means we're famous or anything. We're not rich.
I think in terms of the success that's actively changed our worldview would just be traveling and seeing places. I think when you've traveled around, we just got back from our first tour in more of Europe. We had done UK previously, but the more of the world you see, I feel the less scary it becomes. I feel a lot of media and stuff, it's portraying the world to be this very scary place right now. And I think when you kind of get out and see it and see that everyone's just kind of doing what they can, everybody's doing the best they can, everybody wants to go to concerts and have fun and see shows. And when you see the world on that level, it makes it way less scary. So
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite part of the job, is to be able to go around and
You get to see the common themes of
Exactly.
everyone loves music.
everybody loves McDonald's. There's a McDonald's almost everywhere.
That's true.
Almost everywhere. In the U.S., there's Subways everywhere. It's
Eventually,
amazing.
I think McDonald's will eclipse music as an art form, but we're not there yet.
McDonald's for president, maybe we say that.
I mean,
Maybe we
I
say
wouldn't
that,
say that, but we might get there.
Yeah, maybe. Our drummer's here as well, and I think he would like to say something just to everybody here.
Step in for a sec.
Want to say something?
Yeah, there's always
And that's all the time we have left today.
Thank you
folks.
so
I'm
much
sorry.
for the
All
guest appearance. That's Whistler, the drummer.
right. Okay.
Always insightful.
My first song was Wild Thing. That's great, Cooper Kelly. So why don't we open it up to the live, the live audience? Ask some questions away.
To go to
We're looking
Latin
in-
America.
We're looking in the comments section here. Whelan Keenan just joined. He's an old pal of ours from
Oh, he went to
School of
School of
Rock, so shout out Whelan. Okay, least favorite hats. Probably fedoras. I think it's fair to say.
Bowling hats, tennis hats.
The little
Yeah.
visors, I believe they're called. Are you folks in a green room at a venue right now? The answer to that question is no.
No.
We're at Zach's Fine House in a very brief period of being home before tours. Does Whistler sing the second verse in IOI? Because that's what I think.
No.
The answer to that question is no. He does not. That is me.
No, he doesn't.
That is me. He does sing the end of Violet, though. That's quite.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. OMG, love you guys. Oh, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Subway's the best, yo. I don't know about that.
That's not going to hold up in a court of law. I'm sorry.
Okay. What drove you to pursue music in the first place? That's a heavy question.
What drove me? My mom drove me to School of Rock every day. Every day that I went.
Sometimes my mom, we drove with all the different parents.
Yeah, we actually
Jack Lambert's parents.
Sam Matthijs's
parents.
Whelan's parents sometimes, actually.
Yeah, we were around there.
But what drove us figuratively to pursue music? Everything else sucked. Pretty much, I'd say a lot of other things just didn't hold my interest as much as music did. It's really daunting, the whole college thing. Everyone's going to college. You just kind of do it because everyone else is doing it. And Jake and I actually went to college for a brief period of time, but then both dropped out subsequently after. Got our first tour booked, but I don't know. It's kind of like a decision that you just have to make at some point. What drove us? I don't know.
It's probably just the need to do it, I think. If you're really passionate about something, there's kind of just a burning need to do it. It was kind of the whole time I was in college, at least, I'd spend my time in class just thinking about songs or thinking about music, and my whole week looked forward to the time when we would get up in Whistler's basement or Zach's basement and make music. So when you care that much about something, I think that it's, especially while you're young at least, you should pursue it and just see where it can take you so you don't have any regrets when you're older.
Yeah.
That's my view anyways. Okay, let's was your favorite performance at Life is Beautiful? And who else did you see?
Saw half of Haim.
Yeah, Haim is a delight.
In terms of the number of people, not their set.
Yeah.
Saw half of one of them.
Oh wait, let's skip over this. Maddie B or Jacob Sartorius?
Maddie B. No. Jacob Sartorius.
I'm gonna say Maddie B. I think he plays more of the bad boy card, and I appreciate that in a young child.
He has no respect for authorities.
It's good. It's breaking down the walls. Music breaks down the walls, guys. Breaks down the walls, baby.
I think where's
your jacket from? Zach's closet.
Yeah, it's my closet.
Okay. What is your favorite current NBA player? This is great. These are the kind of questions, guys.
I don't care about the NBA. I don't know
all day long.
Thing about the NBA.
All right. Right now, Jimmy Butler just recently came over to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm on the Jimmy Butler train. Call me crazy, but.
All right. I think we're approaching the end of this, but I have a question for you. Is there anything that you wish someone would have told you, or something that you would say to people that were in our position 7 or 8 years ago? Doing the music as a hobby, just living. If they're in a cover band, like we were, what would you tell them, or what would you have wished someone would have told you?
I think just believing in yourself is really important. I mean, as cheesy as that is, I think you need to understand that you're talented and you can do whatever you want, basically. So I think I wish that somebody would have told me to just kind of do what you want. As a kid, I mean, I think you're told a lot that you need to go to college and you need to do this thing. When in reality, you should just find what you love to do and you should just pursue it, because you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
You could, it's better to be happy than successful. I don't know.
Best to be happy and successful.
Best to be, and a lot of times when you're happy, you will be successful.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to answer that question, I mean, I was a weird kid. I had a lot going on, but we were both weird kids.
Yeah, we were pretty weird.
But I if someone genuinely would have told me anything is possible, I know that's a cliche too, but believing it was weird. This is actually didn't even. There's a band called Lone Bellow who we did a thing with at School of Rock for some reason. I can't even remember.
It was School Rock and Pace Magazine did something together.
Yeah, and I don't know. We talked to the guitar player, I think, of Lone Bellow at School of Rock, which was weird. And he was like, if you play one note with enough conviction, people will care. People will listen. I think, that combined with, just believing that anything's possible and, genuine devotion and passion to music, then, you're going to have a good life just enjoying the art form. Because there's no wrong way to, do music.
And on that note, we conclude. It's been lovely, guys.
And this has been a lovely first episode of
been
School of Rock's extracurricular.
Stay tuned next week. We're talking more about our favorite cookies.
Coming next week, we're talking about Game of Thrones. We're talking about Rick and Morty.
How tall we are, 6'2", 6'2".
How many shoes do I have? 5.
It's great.
How many? Okay, come back next week.
Keep rocking, everybody.
Let's keep on rocking. Okay.